Hi, welcome into this Business Funding Mastery Academy review video. My name is Michael from Viral Funding Solutions, and I will be showing you the inside of this A to Z masterful course on business funding, unlike anything else out there that you've seen or will ever come across, based on the fact that you're getting this information from a business loan expert, somebody who's had a lot of experience helping a lot of businesses of different industries and backgrounds, as well as somebody who's been in your position, who's received funding, or if you haven't yet and gone through all those troubles, problems, trying to figure out who can I trust, who's reliable, and why is business funding supposed to work this way as opposed to a way you may be thinking right now. So let's dive deep. What you're seeing on the homepage or the front of the course is the welcome intro page. And if you scroll down here, you'll see a quick about 3 minutes and 7-second video. So it's nothing too long. You can get in and out and onto the first module, but you'll want to watch this video as I'll walk you through, more or less show you what to expect and how to go along the course so you're getting the best education and value out of this. And by the way, this will be down below in the description for a limited time. I have it open for free. Not sure if I want to keep it that way for the foreseeable long-term future, but if it is, great. If it isn't, even better, because like they say, you value your education more when you have to pay for something. Now, this course can go for 100, it can go for 1,000 plus. Literally speaking, all of the value I give you in here, it is priceless what you're getting. So if you can get early bird access, get grandfathered in and get it for free, great. If you can't, regardless, it is still worth your time. But again, like I said, I may just leave it free. So down below this video, you'll see a button that says free 15-step business building checklist. And I won't go into the details here, but you'll click that, likely opens up a new window. Then you'll see those 15 or so steps with some bonus ones walking you through if you're just getting started with your business, or if you've already had enough experience, what can you do with your next one, or just in case you need to go back to it at some point, how do you get it set up from the fundamentals all the way up top so it's all concrete in there. Underneath here, you'll see ready. And then next to it, a button that says continue course, which I'll show you in a moment. But before that, let's go down below where it shows you the modules and the lessons. And before you see any of this, just so you know, you are going to get a priceless, a great education. And that's what I value most. That's why I created this, because most people, they just try to apply anywhere and everywhere. That is not the objective. That is not a goal that you want to have. Is even if it's your very first time and it's your last time, you've done this over and over, you probably have been through this and you know very well that you get email after emails, phone call after phone calls, text messages. They find your social media, they send you messages, they keep harassing, heckling you. You're unsure about who this lending company is. I never replied to them. Why did you distribute my information? I hear people even tell me that, and I'm not doing that. With me, it is very safe and secure. I've vetted the best lenders, direct lenders, as well as indirect. If it's a brokerage and I have already partnerships with those direct lenders, and why does it make sense to go through this vehicle? You'll know that. But what happens is a lot of your information can get stored with the credit companies. And this is one of the lessons I'll show you, like Experian. And then people go buy that, and that's probably what ends up happening. So it isn't coming from me, but it can happen. It's better to know what to expect before it's too late and you get into your maybe a scam, perhaps get yourself into a tough situation to get out of. It'll take more time to repair. Something goes wrong with your personal credit, something with your business credit at that point if you have it. So be very careful. With me, you get the best. It's very safe and secure through my processes, and you'll be made aware if anything like this does end up happening and how to avoid it. So Business Funding Mastery Academy, you see the business funding origin strategic approach all the way down to extra resources. And as time goes on, this could be added and subtracted to. So you may see more modules and or lessons, more material being added, but everything is there for the most part. Now, we're going to quickly see here, lessons, progress. You'll likely see this where it shows you how much progress you've made. And I have it set up in a way right now where you have to start somewhere and you have to start from the top and then make sure you go through each module before unlocking the next one. Now, I may move that where you can jump around from subject to subject, but I don't want to. The reason being is I don't want you to just jump around and go into, oh, how to purchase an existing business, how to consolidate, how to get business funding with bad or good credit with collateral, and then miss out on everything else and then say, hey, I tried. I mean, I went through the course, but you really didn't. You have to see the fundamentals from the very top, showing you how you need to become the person first to then operate your business and structure it correctly, who then ends up getting business funding. So there's more to this than just getting the funding. Now, if we click on continue course here, actually, since I was testing on a different account, it'll bring me to another one. But when you do, and you just get started, it'll bring you to the first one. So it can bring you back to where you left off. Now, once you're in this module, you'll see likely just written content. Maybe there's a video. Sometimes you see a video with the button underneath it to get started. So here, about business funding origins and strategic approach. This module will go over the origins of where I came from and how I got into business funding. Please proceed to the next lesson by clicking the button below. And then underneath that, you might see some lessons differentiated so you can see that. Now, why should you care about me? But Michael, this is about me, me, me. And I get that. I am in your shoes. I'm positioning myself to see how you think, your characteristics. How does it all work emotionally? How does it all work logically? I do very much care about you as a person first, human, second, business. A lot of other business loan brokers or agents or whoever it is, lenders, they will just look at you as a transaction like an insurance company may, auto loans. They just want to take the money and go on their ways and then come back. That's not what I do. I care about who you are, and that's what differentiates me amongst everybody else, as well as my experience doing this over a long time. So what you'll see here is that, then you can click on next lesson. Oop. So what's happening here? This is only on my end because of the cookies. So what I'm going to do here, it does this from time to time where I have to clear the cookies because there's some browsing history cookie. So I'm not sure if you've ever had this, but it's happened to me. And then it might just reset me out of this page. Let's check it out. It might do that if I click here. Okay, there we go. So what you just witnessed, it happens. Sometimes the host, the cookies, if you've ever hosted a WordPress website, this is what will happen time to time. And you just have to clear your cookies, your browsing history. And then sometimes there's probably a plugin conflict. And as a business owner and entrepreneur, I end up having to go through this stuff all the time, whether it's myself or with my team. So it is a very common thing. It isn't anything being like quote unquote broken like that. But here you'll see this video, how to get a business loan strategically with the right roadmap, and you'll get to hear from my story, where I got to where I got to. And it's best for you to see that so you have a better sense of who I am and how I can best help you. So after that, underneath this video, you'll then see click here to fill out the funding questionnaire, where then you can click that button. But then underneath here, you have some extra resources, such as business credit building, free video series, credit increase / fixed tips, credit repair. And this can be evolved over time when there's more or less underneath here. If you're getting value from this course and would like to share it with others who would greatly benefit from getting business funding correctly, please share below. I greatly appreciate it. And you have that option too. It's not needed, but I would greatly appreciate you if you did. Spread the word for other people who do need an education on getting business funding. Really, people who could use this and just not look at getting a funding amount just because they applied somewhere. It's much more complex than that. You don't want to just give your information to somebody who abuses it, do you? Be very careful, even if it's a reputable one. That's not always the best thing to do. So if we click this button here, you can see it. So it'll bring you to this pre-questionnaire form where it says get the funding businesses need fast. And this is my site at viralfundingsolutions.com. Please select from one of the 4 buttons below that applies to you to fill out the right funding questionnaire. And at the moment I have 4. I may restructure this, but it's set up this way because some people have my 6-step pre-approval lending checklist already, and all they need to do is fill out a questionnaire. Or you may not have a 6-step pre-approval lending checklist yet, but you just need to fill out the questionnaire and get both. So it just depends on where you are. So it says here, for those who do not have my 6-step pre-approval lending checklist yet, And you got to read the button here, non-star. You're a non-startup business with 3+ months in business, so you're completely new. You haven't probably heard of me, or you just haven't gotten any of this. You want to click there. For those who do not have my 6-step pre-approval lending checklist yet, but you are a startup business with less than 3 months in business, so completely new, you want to go there. For those who do have my 6-step pre-approval lending checklist, because I do hand this checklist out individually without the questionnaire, that's why I have it set up this way. And you're a non-startup business with 3+ months. So if you already have that questionnaire or that pre-approval lending checklist, you just need to get that questionnaire in. It'll segment you in here. That way you don't have to go back to the start when you got. I don't want to have a overlay in emails the way that they have been coming to you already. Start all over again, or in a similar format. For those who do have my 6-step pre-approval lending checklist, startup business with less than 3 months in business, click there. Plus, like I'm saying here, you get your 6-step pre-approval lending checklist, unlike no other. So you have an idea, 110% confidence and certainty that you can walk into an application knowing that you have a better approval chance, not just a pre-approval marketing, advertising, enticing thing, how a lot of companies do for credit cards, etc. That's not for certain you're going to get funding. We still have to go through this, see if you can get an offer, closing, and from there. And so with certainty, you'll know what those steps are, and there's bonus material in there. It's pretty good. And then here you'll see more. I offer more services. There's just some of them. More about me if you'd like to learn a little bit. Click here, things you up here. So if I'm a non-startup business with 3 months in business and I don't have the questionnaire form, or I don't have the pre-approval lending checklist, click here. And then you can always backspace in case you didn't see the right one, accidentally clicked the wrong one. But get the business funding your business needs fast. Complete the questionnaire form below to get a personalized and customized email response for your best funding option and options. Plus, get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding much faster. So the form will look like this, more or less. Literally, you can get it done in less than a minute. And I know there's quite a bit. You might think it's too long, but it really isn't. And then what this does, it allows me to pre-underwrite your file. I can give you a ballpark. I can understand how your credit goes into underwriting, but I'm not a creditor. This is safe and secure. We're not going into an application yet. In that email, I can show you links where to get started with which lenders, with brokerages, etc. Why I recommend those, whether you can qualify for something or not. Perhaps you'll see it, you likely will, and how to work your way up there with the strategic partnership and roadmap. This is well worth your time. And my process is much more efficient, energy and time efficient than a lot of others. And you're going to get the best. When you come to the best, you get the best. Whether you were happy with that funding decision now or not, at least you know what's there and how to work your way into that long-term vision. But it is all here. And in the course, you'll see a lesson on my processes, and I'll show you why I do this and how I do it. And I may release it publicly, and if it is, it may be down below, but I'm not really trying to do that. Maybe it'll be there in the future. But you'll see it in the course nonetheless. Fill that out. Specifically, please. And it helps me again pre-underwrite a file, so I'm as accurate with you, and I can show you your options whether you qualify for this one or not. The split difference can be the credit score, the revenue, the time in business credit, a few other things. So make sure if you can be as accurate, great. If you can give me an estimate, that's fine too. I don't want to say even better, but yeah, that would give me a better idea how it works more or less. I'll show you right there. You may see a video. Click here, boom, fill it out, and then you can even get started on the thank you page. I don't want to spend too much time on this questionnaire form. I'll leave a separate video for it down below, but you can fill this out and start on the thank you page. There's a load of options. You might see that page, and then you can see from them, see which one applies to you, and then go get started. Those are very safe and secure. And or you can wait for me to reply back to that questionnaire form, or in the meantime, while you're doing that, I can do this. But I'll show you how all this works and it's put together. But another video, I'll try to link you to down below on how this questionnaire process looks. The form may look a little bit different on that video, but it'll walk you through the thank you page and then what you can do there. So back to this part. So this, you can open it up and it'll take you over to my free business credit video series, something like this. I'm not going to get into the sneak peek of things, but let's see if we do this. You may see something like this. Quite a few videos that'll show you how to go into building your business credit correctly. Credit increase fixed tips. Another video, excuse me, and then another one here where I would recommend if you need to do any kind of personal credit repair, how do you work on your business credit. And there will be other resources over time, likely, and if not, it's okay. And then from here, once you're done with this lesson, you can mark it as complete, like it says there. Users might be different. At the moment, there are not many so comments because it is newly released. And so over time, that'll develop into more. So if I click here, mark next lesson complete, and then next lesson, my processes and why it should matter to you. This is the video I was talking about, and there's some lessons of my process, why it matters. Click here on next lesson, and then you'll want to go to that next one. This one's about 16 minutes. So whether you get a video that's short or not, the point of it is dissecting all that value and education, bookmarking it, coming back to that and rewatching it, going through the written content and so forth. It is well worth your education. Because if I gave you a short 1 minute video, 5 minute, 10 minute video, it can get done. But if there's more value in a 20, 30 minute video to continue doing it, it's well worth it. So I'll go in through my processes, more or less why I showed you, and then click here to fill out the funding questionnaire. So you'll get a similar thing. You'll see a likely pattern like this, and then similar resources, more or less, depending on that lesson and module. So once you're done with that, mark lesson as complete. Next lesson. Are business loans a good or bad idea? You'll learn about this. And then I might reshuffle some modules or lessons where this one might be a little bit after another one, but I like the way that it's set up. And you'll watch that here. You'll see a lot of content that's either listed on my YouTube channel that isn't shared publicly, and it looks like it's from YouTube, or others that are from YouTube that I more or less put on here because it is well worth it. And then a lot of other ones that are from Vimeo that I've published just on Vimeo that you cannot get elsewhere. You'll get a combination of them, and it shows you everything. So right there, next lesson. This one's on good credits. This one isn't, or I mean on good business loans. Are business loans bad for you? Mark lesson complete. Lesson completed. Next lesson. The who and how of business funding. Find out what it means to be ready as a person first. Second, how to operate business. And then third, how to be the person who needs to get the funding. So this is probably going to be one of the most revealing videos. It is a whopping hour's worth, just about. But it is well worth every second, every millisecond, minute, etc., based on the actual truths and the actual tough love I'm going to be giving you, not aggressiveness, not negativity, but it shows you why people have the wrong beliefs and what you're doing and how you should be shaped at. Very important lesson. Do not skip out on this. Watch every bit of it. Mark lesson complete. Next lesson. Are your characteristics getting in the way of business funding? And this is a very, very telling video. You will want to watch that. Now I'm going to keep going down here. This is where, and a little bit later, we'll get into business loan types. This is where you're then going to get into what the different business loans. This is why I didn't want to show you this from the very beginning, because if I did, this really wouldn't be worth you understanding like why we shouldn't create friction, why there shouldn't be resistance when I'm working with you. I don't want to have to go through those things. I don't ever butt heads with anybody, but resistance, pulling and tugging in a different direction. I've been in this long enough to know that it's not coming a lot of it from my side. The majority comes from your side, or if it's not you, somebody else who creates a lot of friction. And I don't want to be wasting energy and time. And if you're serious, you're serious. And I showed you everything, but you need clarity. It's okay. I'm not saying you can't communicate. I'm just saying be energy and time efficient about these things. And what's next, the part of the communication, open-mindedness, feedback, and allowing to be patient. So business loan types, and this is where I'll get into them. You'll see all the lessons. There's all these different products and services, and there'll be more updates over time, but it's all there for the most part. So if I click here, next lesson on this module, bank loans, online and offline, you'll start there. And then you can go in through the other ones and learn about all of them. There are extra resources, as you see here on the side, you can always access. But that is going to conclude everything in this video. I showed you a sneak peek, a quick review, more or less quick, how it's been newly published. And by the time you're watching this, it may have already been out for some time, more comments and everything else. And that the expectations are very high. Sometimes our standards are up here when we should have them higher, or we should move them a little bit less. Hey, we got to start off with standards being here to make our way up here. Or if you're already there, how do I work here in case you need to? And then what are the different steps? You're going to see all of that in this course. It is very well worth your time. You're going to understand how business funding actually works, what you can afford to get, what you can't afford now, what you can't afford in the future, and then everything far in between. Here's more. Let me come to the site. If you haven't already, it is here at viralfundingsolutions.com. But I'll leave the video or the registration for the course down below. You can get started either for free or maybe it's already at a price by the time you're watching it. But it'll be down below where you can register your free account and it'll automatically push you into that welcome video front page that we saw. And or if you have a login, you can go in there and log in, and then it'll probably look a little bit different over time. But it is all there. It'll be well worth your time. Nobody else is doing what I'm doing here. And again, it's all my experiences of not only helping people get business funding in all industries, but also myself being in that position once where I had to get funding over and over. How did it evolve from being a startup to that? How long did it actually take? The struggles of getting email after emails, not applying to the right lenders or brokerages, what you should avoid, what you should and shouldn't do. A lot of these complexities that people don't show you, they overpromise and underdeliver. They tell you to come here, they just bait and switch you. They tell you to do something that they wouldn't have told your credit this way, but they ended up doing it. Now you're hurting in personal credit, your scores drop, multiple inquiries when it should have been only a soft pour. They didn't tell you how this was going to get done. Your social security number is now wrong. You're on the dark web. You're caught for fraud. It wasn't your fault. But hey, these things happen. And it's unfortunate, but you can avoid all that now. And if it's happened, it's happened. And if there's ways of getting over it, I'll show you how to do all of this and how you can use credit repair services and more. So that is going to be everything from me. Look down below in the description for this course to get started with. If you got value out of it, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with others so you feel will get value out of it. It can be a complete stranger, a friend, or a family member. But you know, at the end of the night, when you rest your head on your pillow, you consciously and subconsciously can be at ease knowing that you get to wake up early, all refreshed, feeling better about things, that you don't have to struggle about getting business funding or nobody else does because you help somebody else, you spread the word, and they can wake up to an education and finally understand when they walk into that application with 110% confidence and certainty that they have a higher chance of getting approved and so forth. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, subscribe, there's that word, and click the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out with. That is everything for now. Talk soon.